Top 10 weirdest animals in the world. Our planet is full of amazing creatures that we don't even know of. I love learning about new animals, and I know you do too. So come with me, let's discover the top 10 weird animals on the earth. But first, if you're new here, welcome. Please subscribe and turn notifications so you don't miss out on any of our videos. Number 10. Pangolin. Pangolins are truly bizarre creatures that look a bit like armored anteaters. In fact, another name for them is scaly anteaters. Amazingly though, they are much more closely related to dogs, cats, and even seals than to anteaters or to armadillos, the mammals they most resemble. They have poor eyesight with exceptional senses of smell and hearing that help them hunt ants and termites. The pangolin is known for curling up into a tight ball to defend itself against predators, but unfortunately, that doesn't stop it from being one of the world's most trafficked animals. Pangolins are the world's only mammal that's covered in scales from head to toe. It has a small head, a long snout, and a long sticky tongue that extends up to 16 inches. It uses this tongue to catch and eat up to 20,000 ants a day. Pangolins don't have teeth, so they swallow stones to grind up their food. Pangolins, which are solitary creatures, are nocturnal and only eat termites and ants. Though they are hard to keep in captivity, zoos such as Brookfield Zoo, the Taipei Zoo, and the Smithsonian Conservation Biological Institute in Front Royal, Virginia, have some. A good place to spot pangolins is in sub-Saharan Africa, where 3 different subspecies may be spotted. Sadly, many species of pangolin have become critically endangered in Africa as well as Asia due to intensive illegal hunting and poaching for their meat and scales. Despite their strange looks, we think pangolins are actually quite cute, with their beady eyes and big feet, and of course, their habit of curling up into a ball when they are threatened. Number 9. Armadillo-gidded lizard. Endemic to the northern and western Cape provinces of South Africa, this lizard reminds us of nothing more than a tiny dragon. This resemblance is especially pronounced when they roll themselves up to protect themselves from danger, the behavior that earned them their name. Another interesting fact about armadillo-gidded lizards is that they are one of the few lizard species who give birth to live young, and there is some evidence that the females may actually feed her young, which is even more uncommon. Number 8. Ai. Already one of the ugliest animals on earth, this solitary little primate is also one of the most unusual. Found only in Madagascar, it is up to 14 to 17 inches long, with a long tail. Its body is covered in long, wiry hairs that range in color, from gray to black, with whitish guard hairs. Its face is fox-like, but its teeth grow continually like a rodent's. The ai uses echolocation like a bat and can climb down trees head first like a squirrel. With its bulging eyes, ever-growing teeth, and long fingers, it can be very creepy looking, especially if you suddenly come face to face with one in the forest at night. Its eyes are round, staring, and orange or tan. The animal also has a specialized third finger it uses to poke into cavities it has made with its teeth and pulls out grubs. Natives consider it evil and kill it on sight, and the ai is endangered. The ai's name originated from the Malagasy people saying "hey hey" to avoid saying the name of a feared magical animal. Number 7. Okapi. Also known as the zebra giraffe, the okapi is actually a close relative of the giraffe, but is not any sort of hybrid. This strange and weirdly attractive animal is about 4.9 feet tall at the shoulder and about 8 feet in length. Females are a bit taller. Its neck is long, but not as long as its cousin, and it has a sleek dark brown or reddish brown coat, and those zebra stripes on the legs and hindquarters. Male, but not female okapi, have ossicones on their heads. The animal is endangered and is found naturally only in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. The okapi is endangered and a favorite whenever it appears in zoos. Zoos that feature the okapi include the Bronx Zoo, the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium, the Dallas Zoo, the Blank Park Zoo in Des Moines, and the St. Louis Zoo. Number 6. Megamouth Shark. This shark, Megachasma pelagios, looks fearsome with its turb-sized mouth, but it's a peaceable plankton feeder, much like basking and whale sharks. Discovered only in 1976, it is an elusive species that lives deep in the warmer waters of all the world's oceans. Unlike other sharks, it is not a champion swimmer. It has a soft body and seems to exert minimum energy to keep itself moving. It has a white belly and is brown, dark blue, or gray at the top. It also has weird prominent lips. The mouth of the megamouth can be over 4 feet wide and has as many as 50 rows of little teeth in the upper jaw and 75 rows in the lower. The shark can grow as long as 18 feet and weigh over 2 tons. Its conservation status is least concern, but then again, scientists don't actually know how many megamouth sharks there are. Number 5. Hairy frog. Hair and fur are usually attributes of mammals and maybe some insects, but they're almost never seen on amphibians and reptiles. The hairy frog, also known as the wolverine or horror frog, is an exception. The males of these frogs, which grow about 4 to 5 inches long, develop what seem like hairs on their sides and their thighs during the breeding season. They are not really hairs, but dermal papillae, and they have arteries that help the frog absorb more oxygen. They operate very much like the gills the frog has while it's a tadpole. The male frog will need the extra oxygen because after the female lays eggs in the water, he's the one who guards them. Another unusual thing about this frog is that it has retractable claws like a wolverine. The claws are made out of bone, and they can only be averted if the frog breaks the bones in its own toe and allows the claw to rip through its skin. This frog is found in West Africa, notably in Cameroon, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Nigeria, Gabon, and Equatorial Guinea. Though the frog isn't endangered, it is hunted and eaten. Number 4. Platypus. Everyone knows about the platypus, but that doesn't make it any less strange. Indeed, the more people learn about this animal, the weirder it becomes. Of course, the platypus has a bill like a duck, webbed feet like an otter, eyes like a hagfish, and a tail like a beaver. It is a mammal that lays eggs, and the male has poison spines on its hind feet. Its fur glows under black light, and it finds prey through electrical signals picked up by receptors on its bill. Only the left ovary in the female platypus works. When it was first encountered by Europeans, they thought the platypus was a fake, like the Fijian mermaid. The San Diego Zoo is the only zoo in America to have a platypus exhibit. Others include the Taronga Zoo and the Lone Pine Koala Sanctuary in Australia. Number 3. Blobfish. Another entry as one of the world's ugliest or weirdest creatures is this pinkish white fish, which has the face of a disgruntled old man. Also called the fathead, it is found in the deep waters of New Zealand and Australia. One blobfish was retrieved from a depth of about 3,900 feet. To be fair, the blobfish doesn't really look like its most famous photograph. When it is pulled up from the depths of the ocean too quickly, it suffers such trauma that it collapses into a blob. Most blobfish that have been captured are about a foot long and weigh about 4 pounds. It is probably an ambush predator or simply snaps up any food that comes close enough. Number 2. Sponge. Just so you know, we are not talking about SpongeBob. The sponge is one of those marine animals that look like a plant but isn't. Indeed, the sponge can't even be said to look like a plant, as much as an organism that dropped in from outer space. Made up of unspecialized cells interspersed with channels and pores, this animal has no digestive system. It does not have a brain or nervous system. It does not have a circulatory system. It has no internal organs. It is only alive because the ocean currents bring it food and oxygen and remove waste products. The sponge was the first animal to differentiate itself from the common ancestor shared by every animal, and was probably around as long as 750 million years ago. Yet, sponges' life is surprisingly complex, and the study of these creatures is called spongeology. Number 1. Tardigrade. Also called the water bear, animalcule and moss piglet, this microscopic creature is nearly indestructible. It is also everywhere. It is in the Antarctic and in the bodies of water. It is in rainforests and mud volcanoes and deserts. It has even survived being exposed to outer space itself. It can live through temperatures that approach absolute zero and temperatures that are as high as 300 degrees Fahrenheit. It can tolerate radiation and levels of pressure that would kill a human being. If it must, the tardigrade can go without food and water for 30 years or more, and even endure being dehydrated for a decade. A tiny fat segmented beastie with 8 legs and clawed feet, it eats one-celled plant material, an invertebrate smaller than itself. Count on the water bear to be around till the heat death of the universe. There you have it. Those were the top 10 weirdest animals in the world. Did we miss animals that were supposed to be in this list? Let us know in the comments and we will pin the best comments. Thanks for watching this video. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to subscribe to our channel and don't forget to share with your friends.